Hi guys, Ben here from 100 Man, and as part of my current journey in my 100 Days to Ironman, I am conducting a number of, as I've said in one of my other tests, it's not for any kind of in particular reason apart from to understand myself a little bit better. What's happening on the inside, what's happening with my blood, what's happening with my urine. You know, it's very easy to gauge ourselves on the outside or a mindful thoughts and matter, but it's only generally if we go for a checkup or to the doctors that we analyze what's happening with our organs within. You know, how our consumption of food and hydration is affecting what's going on the inside. So I've decided to do a blood glucose test, or the diabetes test effectively, similar test to what the diabetics do, over the next 14 days. And within the 14 days, I'm going to be not only testing my blood glucose, but also varying the times of day that I'll be doing the test. So sometimes it will be in the morning, pre-food, another time post-food, another time pre or post-workout. And the idea is for me to gauge and understand what's happening with my blood glucose levels based around exercise and my diet. My diet is pretty staple. What I have on a regular basis is pretty much all I eat. There's probably no more than 40 items in my shopping basket, all clean, all organic, and all fresh ingredients. So it's going to be an interesting journey. As I've said previously, I'm not a medical doctor. Therefore, all of these tests are done solely for my use and for entertainment purposes only. I would strongly recommend going to your doctor before conducting any of the tests that I'm doing on myself. So, how does blood sugar affect your body? Well, if you have diabetes, your blood sugar, or the glucose levels, may be considerably high, and over time this damages your body and leads to many other problems. It doesn't take a genius to know that in today's society there's the potential to consume too much sugar, hence the obesity issues and the reasons why type 2 diabetes is in and on the increase on a global level. But how does sugar affect your health, or how does having too much sugar in the blood affect your health? Well, let's start with the normal blood sugar levels. Now, these are from what I've researched, and again, where you look and who you listen to, you may get conflicting or different advice, but these are for my purposes only and how I'm going to be gauging mine. There is also two different metrics. The UK and the US, or the rest of the world, use many different. For my purposes, I'm going to be using millimoles per litre. So if they're less than 5.5 after not eating or fasting for at least 8 hours, that is normal. And if they're less than 7 millimoles per litre 2 hours after eating. Well, I did a test this morning and mines were 5.5. And I ate 2 hours ago, but I'm also just about to eat again. And as anyone who's training or doing any kind of endurance training or sport will be aware, there is masses of food that you consume. You know, anywhere between 4 and 10,000 calories a day, depending on the types of sport and activities that you're doing. During the day, it makes sense and is obvious that levels tend to be at their lowest just before meals. Again, this is based on the average person, not someone that's competing or exercising 30, 40 hours a week. For most people without diabetes, blood sugar levels before meals hover around the 2.9 to the 4.4 millimoles per litre, and for some people or others it can be 5. So what's low sugar levels? Well, this also varies dramatically and has a mass difference on the individual's activity levels, on their general health, and so many different other factors. But for the masses, and for a good rule of thumb, most people's glucose won't ever fall below 3.3, even with masses of fasting. When you diet or fast, the liver keeps your levels normal by turning fat and muscle into sugar. So that's how we get muscle wastage, something that is, again, apparent and topical within sport. And again, it's rare for anybody really for people's levels to fall lower. The doctors use a number of different tests to find out if you have diabetes. That isn't going to be covered in this audio. There's plenty of audios out there on diabetes and you can search a number of the dedicated diabetes channels or websites for a better understanding of how to diagnose this. This isn't for diabetics. But an interesting fact, that the danger is achieving higher levels of sugar in your blood for any length of time can cause something called pre-diabetes, which is a pretty serious thing. An interesting fact that I wrote down was that the American Diabetes Association reported that 86 million people in the US have this condition, pre-diabetes, which obviously can lead to diabetes if they don't make some healthy lifestyle choices or listen to their doctor. And it's possible to stop diabetes from that pre-diabetes stage just with a few alterations to diet and a little bit of exercise. So why is high blood sugar levels bad for you? Glucose, as you probably know already, is our fuel for our cells in our body when it's at its normal levels. But it can also act in a negative way. Someone referred to it as a slow-acting poison when sugar levels are high, because high levels of sugar slowly erode at the ability of the cells in your pancreas to make insulin, and the organ overcompensates and the insulin levels stay too high. Over time, the pancreas can become damaged permanently. But high levels of blood sugar can also cause changes which lead to the hardening of blood vessels. And ultimately, any part of your body can be harmed by too much sugar. Again, it's just common sense, really. Kidney disease, kidney failure, strokes, heart attacks, vision and blindness, weakness in immune systems, even erectile dysfunction, nerve damage, poor circulation, legs and feet, and slow wound healing. So it makes sense in every level just to exercise, look after your diet and keep those blood sugar levels particularly low. Big thing in the UK is counting calories. I've actually started educating my children, although they're aware of counting calories and the calorie kind of counting society, they actually look at sugar levels contained within foods now, as opposed to looking at the front packet, which highlight the high levels of either calories or not. If they are eating anything out of a packet, they look at the sugar levels. So that's something I'd probably recommend you do. I think you'll be actually shocked. Things that I thought were relatively low in sugar, when having a look at the sugar content, I was surprised. So that's it. That's my introduction into my blood glucose analysis for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to be doing it at various times in the day, as I said. Some days twice a day, sometimes once a day, just to gauge really what's happening and see if my training plan and my dietary plan is working, firstly, and how it's affecting what's going on within the body. So on my long rides and my long runs, I'm certainly going to be doing a test before and then doing a test when I get back, just to see how my blood is working, what's happening, and if I can make any positive changes. So that's it from me. Thanks for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this and want to know more or hear more about my blood glucose, then please subscribe, follow us on Facebook, and check out my channel. There's lots of interesting and exciting things happening, more in the pipeline. So that's from me. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out. Be safe.